Measuring agility your own way. You are new to the organisation. Your first mandate will be to access the state of agility and to ensure that everyone else has the same understanding of what it means to be agile. Describe the approach you will choose, the tools and techniques you plan to use, and how you validate that you are successful. It occurred to me that a regular approach for measuring agility is probably to go with a questionnaire like Spotify's or one of the various checklists out there. But the obvious risks with these is they don't suit your organization's context, and a shared understanding does not exist for what is contained within them. Instead, here is a facilitation method which measures your own agility by using what's important to you and your organization. And because it's from the ground up, a shared knowledge exists as you go. The approach being used is to hold a big room workshop inviting everybody with whom we want to measure the agility. The workshop will contain two distinct parts. Part 1. Generate a list of factors, impediments and skills that are vital for working effectively in Scrum. Part 2. Analysing the data. Part 1 as follows. In a large workspace, create room for 4 stations, each containing a whiteboard, post-its and stickies, a Scrum Master, and enough room for a quarter of the group to stand. The stations are as follows. Station 1. In your experience, what are the vital factors for supporting, enabling, and encouraging effective Scrum in organizations? Station 2. In your experience, what are the biggest impediments and blocks that prevent teams and organizations from working effectively in Scrum? Station 3. In your experience, what can our communities of chapters do to enable, encourage, and promote effective Scrum on all levels? Station 4. In your experience, what are the vital skills that our team needs to work with Scrum effectively? The aim is to capture between 5 and 15 items at each work stage, with the focus being on quality, not quantity. Ask the group to split into 4 equal subgroups and visit a station to answer the questions contained on that station. The Scrum Master at each station can determine how to facilitate. 1, 2, 4 all is useful here. Time box this at 15 minutes. If the group is not the first group on the station, ask them to build on whatever came before. Repeat 3 more times until every group has visited every station, allowing for 45 minutes in total for this to complete. At that time, we will then have a list of factors, impediments, and skills that we believe are vital for effectively operating in Scrum. Part 2. On the ground, make 3 large infinity symbols with labels on each section as follows. Each label means renewal. Items in renewal are waiting to be started or be revamped. We need to invest a lot of time and nothing is currently happening. Poverty trap. Poverty trap is when we cannot continue, normally due to a lack of time or resources. Birth. Birth is when we've started, effort is high and payback is low. We need to spend more time to determine if this activity is worth it. Maturity. It may take a little or a lot of effort, but payback is high. Rigidity trap. The rigidity trap is when we're trying to move to greater destruction but cannot. This could be for old habits that die hard, or we're locked into something we cannot stop. Creative destruction. Creative destruction is when we are going to stop doing something and wind it down. We need to make room to start something new from renewal, or to move something out of the poverty trap, or to move something from birth to mature. To begin, have the groups self-organize into their own developer teams. In notebooks, have them draw the eco-cycles and duplicate the list of vital factors that enable, encourage, or promote Scrum in your organization. Have them place them where they think they belong. Share the individual eco-cycles with their teams and have them try to come to a common understanding on where each item should be. 10 minutes. On the first large eco-cycle on the ground, all teams come to agreement placing their stickies where they agree. 15 minutes. Ask the entire group to reflect on the overall pattern of the stickies, Is anybody surprised? Did people think they were quite agile, but most stickies are in the poverty trap? We repeat this for the lists generated for the chapters and the list generated for the teams. Once all three are finished, we ask the group to reflect on the entirety of the placements and reflect together on any patterns they see. For example, one of the patterns people often see is that the teams are struggling in their agile journey, whereas the chapters and the organizations believe that there is no problem. So now you should have a complete image of how mature your organization is in their Scrum journey. Simple next steps could be identifying which stickers need improvement and see how they can be moved before a next workshop. The metrics that you can use are reflected within the eco-cycle. For more tips and tricks, feel free to go to www.davidfoxit.com.